morning, Jules here from Joolsedesigns at Tatty Creations. So this is my first video from Cyprus, and as you can hear, I've got a head cold. I've come here with a head cold, but it'll clear away in a couple of days. So what we're doing is we're making some vellum bags. Now I've done these before, and I usually do a template in some of my kits. I did one in the Christmas kit, and I printed it off on vellum. And I always think you know, digitals and pictures and things are always nice printed off on vellum if you're going to make envelopes and bags. So that's that one. That's got lace on it. This one, it's a bag, but what I did was I folded the flap down and made it like an envelope. So this was a printed one, bought printed, and what I did was I stamped on it with stays on and a bee, and I just made a flap and with a little circle on it and some string like that, and that's all I did. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. So it's an A4 or letter size piece of vellum. This is actually printed, but I've printed on it. And then what I do is I usually pull it in like that, so it overlaps. You can see there's probably about 1/4 of an inch. And then what I do is I do the sides, crease them. Then the bottom, what I do is I usually put in my scoreboard. I haven't got my scoreboard with me, but what I've got is I've got my Crafter's Companion trimmer, which has a kind of scoreboard on it. So I score 1/2 inch at the bottom, and because I want this as an envelope flap, I want, so it's 1/2 inch, so I want it about 1.5 inches, do I? So I'm going to score this like that. You can do it with a ruler, measure it with a ruler just as good. And what I normally do then is I open it back out. Now this is the top, and the top I'm just going to cut straight down that fold to the fold across. And that's all I'm going to do with that at the moment. And I'm going to fold these bits in over and crease them. And again, crease them, because they'll do the envelope like that. Now this one, the bottom, I'm going to take these 2 corners off. So I'm cutting along and then up. I am slightly coming in at an angle and a slight angle at this side. So if you can see, it's just kind of, there's the fold, and then cut that off. And what I did do was I brought my deckled edge scissors with me. I actually brought more than I needed with me. I even brought my sewing machine. I know I got one last year, but I had nowhere to put it, so I brought my little sewing machine with me. And what I've done is I've gone over that with the deckled edge scissors. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these flaps in and is because it's an envelope and you're putting things in and out of an envelope, and it just protects it. Glue tends to show through vellum, so if you just give it more of an even coverage. And there we have it. And then what I'm doing is I'm putting one on the very edge, because this is the flap that's going over on the top, and this should be straight. And then a thin line on that, and again I'm just going to gently and then we've got the deckled edge that comes up, and what I do want to do is I want to ink the edge of that. Now I've not brought my ink daubers with me. What I have brought is I've brought these I've got them diddled about with me, so I've got gathered twigs here. We'll do this one because that looks like it's got brown on it. And again, and again I'm just and then when we're going over the edge with the deckled edge, you can see it just sits out a bit. Now what I do want to do is I want the edge of the flap to match, so I'm not creasing that, I'm just putting the two ends together and just rounding the corners off. That's all I'm doing. And then I'm folding it down and checking. And I'm just going to check what size. I think that's maybe too big here. What I'm doing is I'm just folding that over very slightly, and I'm just going to trim that off, and again we'll just go and these are just the Donna Salazar mixed media designs. I've had them for years. I got them from a craft show somewhere, and we'll put that in there, and then this I'm just going to fold it in half. And I'm just inking around the edges. Okay, so I think we'll put that one there. Now what I do want is I want a circle, and I did bring a couple of circle punches with me. that one as the outside. And now, normally I would put a grommet in there, and I can because I've got my, I haven't got my crocodile with me. I've got my hole punch that I use a hammer with. However, what I'm going to do is, for the sake of people who do not have a crocodile or any kind of mechanism to put grommets in, I'm going to do it this way. So what I've got is I've got a tab, I've got a circle, and what I want to do is I want to put a little hole in there. Now I should have with me, and I have my pokey tool, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that on there and just that's fine. I'm going to pull that down slightly, and again poke a hole, whoops, now I've used the pokey tool, but now I'm using this like ball tools, so that's the pokey tool, that's a 1mm ball tool, 1.5mm, and that's all I do. It goes right up to a 2mm. And I'm putting that over there. I'm actually going to make that hole a bit wider, so I'm going to go to the 1mm ball tool, and I'm just poking it in there. And I'll get myself a little brad. And I'm just poking the little brad in there like that. Like that. So that's all you do, but before you do that, you stick your tab. And I've got some twine. I'm just tying that in a knot. Cut that one away. Now if you wanted, you could put 2 circles on. One for attaching the twine that way, and one for fastening, but I'm not. I'm just going to fasten it onto that one. Doesn't really matter. And there we are. So we've got that one. And so we'll do this one from scratch. So this is from the Shabby Chic Rose. So again, what I do is I just match it up. It's just, I would say it's about 1/4 inch, and at the ends here match, and then I just fold it down, fold that, fold it down, put your fold in the middle. Again, I'm just putting the edge up to the silver, I'm not putting it right up to the cut edge, and I'm just marking 1/2 inch, well not even 1/2 inch, and then folding it over. And again, what I'm doing is I'm opening it out and I'm cutting these corners off. So again, I'm taking it in slightly. And again, I'm just going to take the deckled scissors. It's sunny, it's dry. But you get a lot of rain at this time of year, so it gets cool at night. And then what I'm doing is, because I want this part to come down and the paper bag to be up there, and I'm doing it on a slight curve, and then I'm taking it just in a little bit from the line, and again just to take the tiniest bit off. Oops, sorry, I'm knocking the light. And as you can see, it is just a slither and no more. And again, just a thin line of glue down that side, and a thin line of glue on this side. Match them up. And I mean, if you think you've gone too near the edge, just put something underneath to stop the vellum totally gluing down. I've done it. And then, and again, I'm just rubbing my fingers along there. It's just, the vellum sometimes goes a little bit wrinkly when, and I mean, that glitter glue hasn't got a lot of water content in, not like some PVA glues. But there you are. So there we've got that one. And I think what we might do is we might put some ribbon or something on this one. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll have this as a wraparound, but we will glue it. No, I should have, yes. So put some double-sided staples on. And just lifting it up, and I'll put that back there. Now I'm going to put the edge of this ribbon in the middle because we're going to have a bow. Now because this is shabby chic rose paper, it's like a dusty pink and pink roses. So it kind of lends itself to this cream organza ribbon. And then I'm going to trim that there. And what I am going to do is I'm going to put this round again, so we'll have another and I mean, if you want to, you can use, I've got Fabri-Tac with me, so I could quite easily use glue, but with it being vellum, I'm using the double-sided sticky tape, and I'm just lifting that up a little bit, and then we'll put that down like that. And this has got a shiny side, so I'm just putting that down there. This is like a brownie pink. It's quite a nice okay, there we are. And what I want to do now is I want to do a bow. And then I want just put that in a little bit more. And that's quite nice, and I think maybe we'll put some of this round. Or should we put a little bow? I think that bit. Right, so I've just tied that in a knot. Just tightening that up a bit, tightening that up a bit. And what I am going to do is I am going to put a tiny little bit of fabric tack on this side just to stick that, and then I think we'll call that a day. So again, as I say, when I'm travelling with glue, I always put polythene over the bit. So put a tiny bit of fabric tack on there, and we'll glue that down. And a tiny bit of fabric tack on there. And we'll glue that down. And I think that's it. And I hope you get something from that. So we've got 12x12 that's been cut down. So it's, let me get my ruler. It's 10.5 by 12. So it's been trimmed down. So what I did was I folded it in half, as you can see. Got the flap. I did 1 inch there, and I did 2.5 inches there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a policy type pocket. So I am. And before I stick anything down, this is the flap of the envelope here. So I'm just putting that together. And I'm just going to round the corner off and slightly miter it. Not too much, but as you'll see there. So then we'll put these down like we did with the other envelope. And I'm not going to do any fancy trimming on this. And this is plain vellum. You used to be able to buy it the 12x12 and the like letter size A4. Paper Mania did it. I've not seen it in a long time, but because I used to run craft workshops and that, I had quite a bit. So this is why I've got this. And again, okay. Now what I do want to do is, I want to put a grommet in here. Well, I want one in here, but I want one down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over, and I'm folding this. This is just a piece that I cut off the flap, and it's too thick, so I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. So that's about, probably I'm going to cut it. Okay. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for right, so these are the, so So this is how you put grommets in. They're called eyelet setters. So I think what we'll do is are we going to do not a copper one? No. To do a gold one, yeah. So I'm going to do a gold one at the top and a gold one at the bottom. So I need the biggest hole, which is that one. So I'll put that in there. You get a setting mat. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to stick that Now I will turn the volume down for this because it is quite noisy. So you find your middle, and then what you do is you put your eyelet in and you have a bobbled one that you put in. So you turn your eyelet over so you've got the rough edge there. You put your bobble in the rough edge, and there you have your eyelet setter there. And you do the same with that. So I'm going to put that one there. That's the same, yeah. So we're going to stick this down first. And I'm just kind of guessing it. Okay. And then again, so we want our, I think there's, yeah, you get the 3 different sizes. So I would say those 2 are the same size as your crocodile, and then you've got like a tiny, tiny one. I'll just keep these in a little, yeah, it is a lot easier with if you don't have a crocodile, it's as good as. Then I would put that through there and tie it. And then what I want to do is I want to stick this down, but what I am going to do is I'm going to stick it down with some double-sided sticky tape as well. Thanks. Just give me 2 seconds. Alright, so this is me. Right, my husband's just getting rid of the beastie on the wall. I don't mind them when I can see them, but I don't like them near me. Okay, so put that down with glue and tape, and then all you do is you just in fact I'm going to put that through there. Pull that up, pull it down, and you can put a nice little dangle on the end there. So that's another little envelope that we've got there. And this definitely is, I'm just going to get the envelope, so I'm not going to put anything fancy on that envelope. So we've got that one, just put that in there. Maybe put some washi tape or something if I have a nice, yeah, I've got a nice nice washi tape there. And these are bought here in Cyprus. I got them from Jumbo. So there we are. So we've got our envelopes, which I love my vellum envelopes, and I love policy pocket envelopes anyway. And then we've got our two little bags with lace and everything on. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.